It's fine. It's fine. Oh, they're falling asleep. Let them stay. I don't mind. They can lay on my lap. Yeah, don't worry about it. They're okay. Just gonna let them rest a bit. You know? They've had a long day. It's alright. You good? Yeah, I know. Oh, here, let me get my hair out of your face. No, don't worry. Don't worry about anything. You can lay here as long as you like. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna play with your hair. You just drift off. It's so fine. So fine. Don't worry. I can still do things while you're sitting here. If you don't mind. Don't worry. Yeah, of course. Why would I mind that you're laying right here? Why would I mind? That's what friends are for, right? Fall asleep on me. I don't care. I do not care. Yeah. Just lay there. Don't worry about anything. No worries at all. None at all. No, I was just gonna sit here anyway. I might read a bit. Do you want me to read to you? Because I can do that. Yeah? That might help you fall asleep, huh? Hold on, I have a stack of books here. How about... I actually haven't read this one. I've seen the movie, but how about this? Yeah? You like this one? Oh, you read it as a kid? That's cool. I didn't. I kind of wish I would have. I loved the movie as a kid, you know. I feel like it's a staple of childhood. You just relax, lay right there, and I'll read to you. Right. Let's see. There's a really pretty picture in this version. A really pretty picture of a whole town. You see the long road into the hills, big buildings, little houses, some dark, dark trees, and the sun setting over the hills. I don't know if you can see that far, but there are 3 little birds flying over the mountain. You're joking. Don't fall over on me. It's okay. You just lay right in my lap and I'll read to you. The beginning of the story. Once there was a little town sandwiched between a deep forest and gentle grassy hills. The town was built on an easy southward slope, its roofs the color of dark slices of toast all in a row. Clustered in the center of town near the train station were the town hall, the police station, the fire station, and the school. It was a normal town, one you could find anywhere. if you paid close attention, you'd find things you wouldn't usually see. For instance, silver bells hung from the tops of tall trees. Even when it wasn't storming, these bells sometimes made a racket with their ringing. Then the townspeople would turn to each other and smile, saying, "Little Kiki must have gotten caught again." But how could someone so little ring the bells in the treetops? Well, if you looked to the east and peeked into Kiki's home, you'd find the answer. On a gate pillar facing the road hung a sign that read, "Sneeze Medicine," right next to a big green gate that sat wide open. Beyond the gate was a large garden and a single-story house. The garden grew herbs in neat rows with broad leaves and pointy leaves, all different kinds, and a pungent scent filled the area. The smell continued into the house and was strongest around the copper pot in the kitchen. From there, you'd have a perfect view of the front living room wall. Instead of paintings or family photographs as you would expect, 2 brooms made of bundled branches hung there, a big one and a little one. And from the living room, you could hear the family's voices as they gathered for tea. "Kiki, when are you planning to leave?" a woman's voice, full of disapproval. "I think it's about time you let us know. You can't keep putting it off like this." "That again?" A girl spoke now, somewhat annoyed. "Don't worry, Mom, I'm your daughter after all. I am a witch. I'm thinking about it." "How about leaving it up to Kiki, dear?" the calm man interjected. "Until she decides for herself, you can prod all you want, but it won't make a difference." "Yes, you might be right." The woman's voice rose slightly. "I'm just anxious. I feel responsible, you know." In this house lived a family of witches. Well, Kokiri, the mother, came from a long line of witches, and Okino, the father, was human. As a folklorist, he studied legends and tales about spirits and magic. Kiki was their only child, soon to turn 13. The 3 were talking over tea about Kiki's coming-of-age day. When daughters of witches and humans reached the age of 10, they decided whether to follow tradition and live as witches themselves. If a girl picked this path, she promptly learned her mother's magic and chose a full moon night of her 13th year as her coming-of-age day. For a young witch, this meant leaving her parents' house and moving to live on her own in a town or village in need of magic. Of course, finding a witchless town on her own is a difficult thing for a little girl to do. But over the years, witches' powers had grown weaker and their numbers had dropped. Such important traditions helped them survive, so they share the existence of witches with as many towns, villages, and people as possible. At age 10, Kiki had decided to become a witch and learn Kokiri's magic right away. Kokiri had 2 magic abilities. The first was growing herbs to make sneeze medicine, and the second was flying through the sky on a broom. Kiki quickly got the hang of flying, but as she grew older, she often found herself distracted by all sorts of things. For example, the big pimples that started appearing on the sides of her nose, deciding which dress she should wear to her friend's birthday party. Whenever that happened, her broom would suddenly start to fall. One time she was so busy thinking about the scratchy new underwear she was wearing that she ran into a power line. Her broom broke into pieces, and Kiki herself ended up with bumps on her nose and both kneecaps. Soon after, Kokiri tied bells to the tall trees of the forest. If Kiki was lost in thought and flying too low, her feet would ring the bells, and the sound would bring her back to reality. Fortunately, they were ringing much less than they used to do. Meanwhile, there was the sneeze medicine making, but Kiki didn't seem to be cut out for it. She was impatient and found it difficult to grow the herbs, finally chopped the leaves and roots and slowly simmer them. Will another type of magic disappear? Kokiri lamented. In the olden days, witches could use all sorts of magic. But over the years, one type after another disappeared, until even a genuine witch like Kokiri was left with only 2 abilities. Now her daughter hated one of them, so it was no wonder she was upset. But it feels so much better to fly through the sky than stir a pot. Kiki didn't see what the issue was. At these times, Okino would try to cheer Kokiri up. "Well, we can't force it. Maybe someday lost magic will be relearned. Plus, she has a black cat, doesn't she?" Witches have long been accompanied by black cats. One could say that's another type of magic, too. When a witch has a baby girl, she searches for a black cat born around the same time and raises them together. As they grow, the girl and the cat learned to speak to each other in their own language. Kokiri used to have a cat named Meme, and Kiki had one as well, a little black cat named Gigi. By the time the girl came of age, the cat would be a precious companion and someone to turn to during good times and bad. Eventually, the girl would grow up and find a new companion to take the place of her cat. The cat would also find its own partner, and from then on, the pair would live separately.